Hi everyone, this is Queen of Light 1111. Happy Monday. I am here with your twin flame energy check-in. We follow the same format, head space, heart space, 3D space, 3D messages from the masculine, 3D messages from the feminine to the masculine. We have current energies and we have future energies. Before I get started, I just wanted to make a couple of announcements really quick. I've received a lot of emails around, booking sessions. And so I work with clients locally and globally. And for my global clients, I have Skype sessions. And I am in California, in the United States, in the Pacific Standard Time Zone. So if you are an international client booking a reading with me, please know that I don't do YouTube videos. Given the gift that I have, I need to connect with my clients directly. So I do Skype sessions. For those of you in the United States, the readings are through the phone or via phone. So please know that before booking a session. The other thing to know is to book a session, please go to my website directly at queenoflight1111.com. You can book a session directly there, and the menu's there for what I offer as far as services are concerned, as well as prices. Also, if you have any questions, you can email me through my website at queenoflight1111.com. That's my website. There is a link there to send me an email. I don't respond to direct messages on Instagram, so if you're trying to message me there, that's not a great place to do that. So as you know, I do have an Instagram page. I do free readings on Instagram as well, but that is not a great place to get in touch with me as far as to ask me questions about readings and wait times, etc. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Actually, before I do want to extend another huge thanks to all of my subscribers, to my followers, to all of you who have booked sessions with me, for those of you who have donated. I am so grateful for all of your support. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for your support and my work, for your feedback. I really do appreciate it. Okay, so we've been channeling this collective for a while now, and I've received feedback from some of you like, oh, this collective's in union, we're not in union. Just because this collective happens to be talking and working towards union, I'm not saying they're in union, does not mean that you are necessarily not part of this collective, okay? These are general readings, so please take what resonates and leave the rest. So in this situation here, there's very much been communication. There's been some communication between the couple. There's been, or through the collective couple, there's been some progress made. But what I'm really starting to feel through the cards that have come out today is that there's a little bit of a pause again. And I almost feel like it's two things. From the feminine standpoint, she's very much in her head, protective of her heart, as she should be. She is unclear still about where this is going to go in the 3D world. Okay, she doesn't know really where it's going to go, so it's giving her some concern. She doesn't want to be hurt again. She's trying to stay within her power, and she's a little burdened, right? So it's like, be careful what you wish for. It's like all of a sudden there's communication, but now this whole dynamic has shifted. Okay, this collective is in like the Wheel of Fortune energy and in the world's energy, where we're coming to a completion of a cycle and now starting a new one. And so now this new journey has people feeling a little uncomfortable because it's the unknown, and people want to know if the masculine is changed, and it's making her feel a little stressed out. Okay, from the masculine's point of view, now that he has been in touch with his feminine, I feel like he has kind of paused a little bit. And what's happening here, still he sees her as the perfect match, okay? Because we have matches in major arcana cards even that have come out, and she is still very much his wish. There's still very much this desire to be successful, but I can tell he doesn't want to screw this up again. So he's almost retreated, okay? Not in a way where he's focusing on something else, but because I really feel like he's going into a spiritual journey now. And not that he wasn't on one before, but I just feel like now that this wheel has turned, the energy has shifted, he has asked for forgiveness, he's still processing some of the grief from his actions. He doesn't want to screw this up again, yet he wants her, he wants this contract. So there's a little bit of mismatched energy where he's concerned, okay? So let's just go ahead and get to it. And I just wanted to kind of give you that overview so that those of you who have been, saying, oh, I'm not part of this collective anymore, it's not necessarily true. Everyone's on their own timelines. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. But this is very much a collective that is in communication. There has been apologies or an apology. But at this point in time, it's like it's not like the masculine has retreated completely. It's just like there's a little bit of a pause, okay? And it's all around what has happened in the past. People are still processing this information, and it is stressing people out, especially the feminine. She doesn't want it to happen again. He doesn't want to do it again. He doesn't know how he's going to redeem himself. So let's go ahead and get started. Bottom of the deck for the divine masculine, 8 of Cups. So 8 of Cups is really about, moving on, but it doesn't mean that it's about moving on from this relationship. 8 of Cups is about moving on from certain behaviors, moving on from, certain things, certain people. This is also a card of people that start to move on so that they can reflect on their own journey and what they want to do, and that they don't want to make the same mistakes again. So there's this, reflection period. Remember, the 7 of Cups is like there's confusion, there's choices to make. In the 8 of Cups, he's made a choice that, and I can tell from the cards here, he doesn't want to make the same mistake. He wants to move on from certain behaviors. He doesn't want to move on from her because there's lots of pairs here in quartz and major arcana cards. He sees her as the perfect match. She also sees him as the perfect match, but he doesn't want to repeat this cycle. So he very much wants to move on from things that did not serve him in the past, okay? So I really take this as a higher vibrational masculine that, while he has apologized, doesn't want to repeat the same mistake. So he's trying to spend a little bit of time alone, moving away from any connection so that he can see what he needs to do, okay? So now in his headspace, that's the bottom of the deck for him. In his headspace, we have 4 cards. I only took 4 cards today because I just wanted to make sure the messages were very clear. 4 cards for masculine and feminine, but I did take more for the connective and the future energy. So what we have here for the first card in his headspace is the High Priestess. And I'm going to tell you now that the High Priestess was the first card that flew out. Then when I went to do his heart space, the first card that flew out was the Hierophant. And the Hierophant is the match to the High Priestess, okay? So what I'm finding here when I got the High Priestess with the King of Pentacles, so this could be an Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Then we have the Death card, and then we have the Emperor. So what I'm really getting from this is, the High Priestess is the feminine energy. This is the divine feminine's energy. And so she's very much in his energy and in his headspace, okay? And he doesn't want to hurt her again. This is also a card of, like being wise. You see the owl. And so the owl is a symbol, spirit animal of wisdom. The High Priestess is also flying. So the High Priestess is a card of mystery. It's a card of intuition. It's a card where people are being quiet or trying to quiet their minds so that they can listen to the inner voice. In the past, this masculine has been so fuzzy in his mind, doesn't know what he needs to do, doesn't know how to approach his feminine. And so what he's trying to do, especially with this 8 of Cups underlying energy, is he's going on this journey again, this journey with her, but at this time taking a little pause to really listen to his intuition, okay? Listening to his inner voice with his divine feminine in mind. And this is his mind space, okay? And remember, in his heart, he has the Hierophant, which is the divine partner, the masculine to this feminine energy. So he has his divine feminine in mind, in his mind space. And he has the King of Pentacles. So this is the masculine's energy too, but this is also a card of something solid, something stable, a foundation. And so that's really wants to, do this time. He wants to set up something solid, something stable, because in the past, and we'll see this as we get to his 3D messages, he knows he did not invest as he should have in this relationship. And again, with this Eight of Cups underlying energy, he doesn't want to make the same mistakes again. And he has a lot of eights on his side. So he has the Eight of Cups as his underlying energy, the Eight of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles in his heart space. And I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but those are 3 eights, and the eights are like an infinity symbol, but it's also like a yin and a yang. And so it's kind of like, I didn't give anything and now I want to give something. So I really feel like he's trying to balance this energy of the back and the forth. And so that's why he is being very thoughtful this time with the Eight of Cups. He doesn't want to do the same stuff. He's taking a minute to just stop and really think about what he wants with his feminine in mind, listening to his intuition, quieting his mind so that he can figure out a way to build something solid and stable now, okay? The next card is the Death card. The Death card is about transformation. So I love that we have this combination with the High Priestess, the King of Pentacles, and now the Death card. So now, as I mentioned, he, has this feminine in mind. He is listening to himself. He's quieting his mind to listen to his intuition. He wants to build something solid and stable. He wants to transform this relationship and also transform himself, okay? He doesn't want to display the same behaviors as before. So he has gone within a little bit, okay? He's gone within a little bit. And he wants to do this right this time and be a leader. Here's the Emperor. The Emperor is a leader, someone who is wise, someone who is strong, someone who protects, someone who can, who's moral, who's ethical, who does the right thing for his people. He wants to do the right thing for his feminine. He wants to give her something solid and stable this time. He wants to transform this relationship, and he wants to come across as the masculine, divine feminine. The masculine divine. He wants to come across as the divine masculine, okay, in the 3D to his feminine. So he wants to come across as a leader now, as someone strong, someone worthy of the title. And so in his headspace, he's really trying to see how he can transform this. He has his feminine in mind, okay, literally in his mind. And he's trying to quiet down all the other thoughts that are in his space, in his mind. And that's why we have this Eight of Cups energy is let me quiet things down. Let me retreat from everybody. Let me move on to a place where I'm alone and I can think clearly so that I can figure out how I can build this strong, solid, stable foundation with the Knight of Pentacles and how I can transform this relationship and be this leader as the Emperor. Okay, this divine masculine 3D. How can I be this person that she deserves? Okay, in the divine feminine space, her underlying energy is the Death card. Okay, so this is a match. He has it in his headspace. How do I transform this? She has it in her underlying energy. She wants to transform her entire energy because this poor feminine is a little stressed. She's got a lot of challenging cards, but this is very much because she's still processing what he has done in the past, and because he's retreated now in her mind, she feels like he's retreated because, oh my gosh, he's going to reject me again. But when I've pulled this cards, it's very much because he wants to do the right thing. Okay, he wants to do the right thing. He doesn't want to hurt her again. And so she's sitting here thinking he's withdrawn a little bit. He's not communicating as much, but it's really because when you pull the cards, it's because he is wanting to do the right thing. He wants to be a leader. He wants to give her something solid and stable. He wants to transform this relationship. So he's just taking a little space so that he can figure out how to do the right thing. Okay. Makes me a little emotional because when I see the feminine's cards, it's just like, I can feel the pain that she's going through, but if this gives anyone any sort of peace and hope, it's that he's just really trying to do the right thing right now. He doesn't want to rush in with the Knight of Wands energy. He's just taking a little break, okay? So we just need to understand that. You just can't rebuild right away and get right back together. You have to take time. This a lot of shit went down in this collective, and so it takes a little bit of time. So in her overall energy, she has the death card. She thinks it might be dead. She wants a transformation, but I really feel like she also needs to transform her energy too, because in her headspace, she's in the Five of Pentacles. She's in the Five of Swords, okay? She's got the Queen of Cups. This is her energy where she's really trying to balance her emotions and be compassionate and understanding. But she's having a tough time, okay? This is the Two of Pentacles now, and it's like she's juggling. Is he moving away from me? Is he trying to come back? What is he doing? I feel like, you know, he's rejected or he's abandoning me, you know, and then she has this Five of Swords, this card of conflict. Like, she's in her head, man. She's like, you know, I can't be rejected again. I won't go through that again. And so in her headspace, she's got this Five of Pentacles. Like, I don't know if I'll survive it this time. So in her headspace, she's processing this old stuff that has happened. And she's like, I can't be rejected again. I can't be left out in the cold again. And she's conflicted, you know, she wants this to move forward. She loves him, right? But she's very much in a state of conflict. She's conflicted over her own emotions with the Queen of Cups and the Two of Pentacles. It's very much, she's trying to be compassionate. She's trying to be understanding, but she's trying to balance her emotions as well with between this state of lack and conflict to trying to be this queen. She's in a spot right now where she's struggling a little bit in her headspace, okay? Because he's retreated, but for a good purpose in this connection now. It doesn't mean it's over. It's not over, but it's very much that she's feeling his energetic shift, that he's pulled back just a little bit, and she's feeling it and she's getting in her head about it, okay? So now in his heart space, he has the Hierophant. Remember, the match to the High Priestess, the major arcana match. So again, in his head space, first card that flew out, High Priestess. In his heart space, Hierophant. Followed by the Eight of Swords. Remember, I told you he has a lot of eights. This is the second eight, Eight of Pentacles. And then we have the Hermit, Virgo. So what I'm really getting from this four card, he does know that she is his perfect partner. This is also a card of commitments, of contracts, of tradition, marriage. Like, he knows he wants this with her. And just so you know, when I started to pull the feminine's heart space, the very first card that flew out was the Hierophant for her too. So they both know that they are each other's perfect match, okay? And that that there is a spiritual connection here. But what I got from this, in addition, that he is aware in his heart that she is a soul connection, is that, you know, right now he is a little trapped in his head or trapped in his heart about what to do. He wants to dedicate himself with this Eight of Pentacles. He wants to work hard at this, but he's taking a little bit of space in his heart, right? Because with the heart, the Hermit and the Hierophant, what I got from this was he wants to do the right thing, right? The Hierophant is all about moral, ethical behavior. And the Hermit is like this wise, spiritual person. So together, these cards, what I got, and I also saw this, you know, in some forums where other people have pulled this, and I thought it was really interesting that I saw when the Hierophant and the Hermit come out together, it's really about wanting to do the right thing. The Hierophant for yourself, right? And, you know, for others, right? The Hermit, but the Hermit is really about self-discovery. So when I got these two cards together with the Eight of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles, I really feel like, you know, he has done some shady stuff in the past, okay? And so he's a little trapped about, how do I get out of that behavior? He wants to get out. He wants to commit now with this. So this Eight of Swords is like, how do I get out of this? How do I get out of this behavior? How do I get out of these thoughts? And that's why he's pulled away a little bit, so he can transform himself and this relationship and give this feminine exactly what she needs, okay? So he wants to try to get out of that. He wants to work hard. He wants to do the right thing. With the Hierophant and the Hermit, it's about doing the right thing for himself and for this connection. This also together, Hierophant as commitment card, and this is a card of like, you know, on your own. This is also a card of like a monogamy together. So if this masculine, which we know he's had third party situations before, he's very much wanting to do the right thing. He knows that she is his perfect partner. He wants a monogamous relationship. He wants to get out of this trapped behavior of his old cycles, which is why he's in the Eight of Cups for his underlying energy. And he wants to dedicate himself in his heart to this feminine. Okay? I hope that made sense. So then we have the feminine's heart space. So she's a little bit more sure, okay? He's sure. He just is trying to get out of this cycle that he's been in of bad behavior. And in his heart space now, I mean, his head space, he knows that he wants her. In his heart space, he knows that too. But he's trying to break free of certain things. And that's why Eight of Cups is underlying. In her heart space, she is the Hierophant, first card that flew out, followed by the Four of Wands. So those two together is definitely a card of marriage. She knows he is a spiritual connection. She wants a traditional commitment with this Four of Wands. She knows in her heart space she wants to marry him. But we have the Seven of Cups, and then we have the Queen of Wands. So what I get from this whole combination with her is, because remember, she's like, I don't want to be abandoned again. I'm tired of this conflict. I'm trying to balance out my emotions in my headspace. I'm trying to balance out my emotions and my logic. I'm trying to be compassionate. I'm trying to be understanding. But in her heart space, she's like, I know he's my perfect partner. He is my match. And that I want to build something strong and solid and have a marriage and a commitment with him. But I'm confused about his behavior. I'm confused about my own choices because I'm stuck in this conflict again in my headspace. So I'm now going to embody this Queen of Wands energy, which is fiery and independent and not afraid to go at it alone. And I really feel like this is kind of more like her, you know, Seven of Wands energy, which is like she's trying to protect herself. So when she protects herself, she goes into Queen of Wands. Like, I'm fine. I'm going to be fine. I need to protect my heart. I'm fiery. I'm independent. I'm successful. I can do whatever I want. It's because of this confusion. It's because of this, like, where do I go? What are the choices, right? I want to marry him, but he's not really coming forward right now. But how can you really realistically even like get married at this point? You just started talking. Forgiveness is going to take a little bit more time. He just apologized, right? He just started communicating. So, you know, I know the feminine has been awake a lot longer than the masculine has, but you can't rush into the Hierophant and the Four of Wands energy. It needs to take some time. So I'm glad to see that the masculine has like taken a little bit of a step back so he can do the right thing by her, okay? Now, in the 3D space for the masculine, we have the Wheel of Fortune. This is a repeating card. We have the Wheel of Fortune in their future energies. We have the Six of Wands. The Six of Wands has come up a lot for him. He's determined to be successful with her this time. He has the Six of Wands in his 3D space for what he wants with her. He has the Six of Wands for his 3D message to her. And then we have the Six of Wands in their connective energy. So he's like, this cycle's going to turn. We're going to change this, the dynamic of this relationship. And we're going to be successful this time. We are going to have victory this time because you are my wish. With this Star card, I have hope for this relationship, and the Ten of Cups. This is 3D space. So he really wants to do the right thing. He doesn't want to repeat his past mistakes. So good for him for taking a little break. I wish he would have gone about it a little differently, because the way that he's gone about it has made her feel like some old feelings are coming up of this abandonment, of this conflict and confusion. And so she is in the space where she's not sure because he did not detach the right way to say, hey, I need a little space. But to his defense, he might have been like, hey, if I tell her I need a little space, then what happens to her brain? So I don't know. It's kind of a lose-lose, which is why there's Five of Swords in her headspace. But if this reading is resonating with you, just know he's taken a step back to try to do the right thing. Okay, so in his 3D space, he wants the wheel to turn. He wants this relationship to change, to start to evolve into this next cycle. Okay, and he wants to be successful this time with the Six of Wands. He's not going to repeat the same past mistakes, so that's why he is really taking the time to think about this, because here's the star. Now he has hope, right? You know, he has asked for her forgiveness, and they are communicating now after they haven't communicated in I don't know how long. And so he has hope for this relationship because he knows that she is his emotional bliss. She brings him emotional bliss with his 10 of Cups, and she is someone that he sees as his perfect partner. High Priestess, Hierophant, okay? And then we have the King of Pentacles in the future energy. We have the Queen of Pentacles, so earth signs. So and then we have Emperor and Empress. So he very much is seeing her as his perfect partner. He knows she's someone that he wants to build a life with. Okay, that's the 3D space for him. Now for her space, a little different, right? Because remember, he detached to try to figure out how he's going to fix this. But again, he didn't explain himself well, if even at all. And so now in the 3D, she's in 4 of Cups. She's not happy. She's dissatisfied. She's like, you know, she's sad, right? She's sad. She's just in very heavy energy. And so why? Because communication, 8 of Wands, right? She doesn't feel like there's enough communication at this time. And so now this is a burden for her with the 10 of Wands. She's burdened by this because, again, she's let him in, and now she's in her 3D space. Is he going to do the same stuff over and over, you know, to me again? I don't know. So I'm dissatisfied. There's not enough communication. Now I'm burdened. And I want clarity. Ace of Swords. I want truth. I want clarity. Come out with it already. So she's not in a great place. She's really not in a great place. She's just heavy. She goes into survival mode with Queen of Wands when she has really been coming up as Queen of Cups for him, as kind of like compassionate, emotionally mature. But because he has taken a step back a little bit to figure out how he's going to correct this and not repeat these behaviors, she's gone into defense mode and chosen to be the Queen of Wands. So, but she's very fiery. She's burdened. She wants him to communicate. She has a lot of Wands energy here. So, she's just not happy right now with him, and she doesn't feel like it's progressing at this time. So it is burdening her in the 3D space. So that's her 3D energy. So now let's get to the 3D messages from the masculine to the feminine. Bottom of the deck for this space is the Oracle, grief. Okay, there's grief. She's not happy. She's sad. Grief is really 5 of Cups energy, and 5 of Cups comes out in the connective energy. Okay, this is grief. And 5 of Swords. Okay, that's the clarifier. 5 of Swords is her energy in her headspace. So she's very much kind of like taken the wheel of this 3D space, right? She's not happy, so her energy is starting to bleed through this. So my advice to any feminines in this space is to try to keep it high vibrational. Give them space. And you continue to do your own thing. Choose yourself. Move yourself forward. Stay in your power. That is what attracted him back to you in the first place. Stay in your power, okay? Get out of this 5 of Pentacles, 5 of Swords, 4 of Cups energy, because you are really owning this in the 3D, okay? So for the masculine, his first message to you is new direction. He wants a new direction, and it's clarified by the journey. I only needed 1 card for this to clarify it. It's pretty clear. He wants to take this in a new direction. It makes sense, right? Because I said we have 8 of Cups. He doesn't want to do the same stuff again, and he wants to transform this relationship. He wants to listen to his inner intuition. He wants to build something solid. You are his perfect partner. He wants to be successful because you are his 10 of Cups. And so now his 3D message is, Divine Feminine, I want to take this in a new direction. I don't want to make the same mistakes this time. I want a new beginning with you. The 0, the journey card, is the Fool's card, okay? He wants a new direction. And then this all is starting to make sense. His second message is release. He wants to release behaviors and actions and things that he's done in the past. He wants to release his own grief, his own sadness. And so when I got this card, the first card that came out was victory, but I was like, victory over what? This judgment day. So what he wants is, he's asked for forgiveness from you now. He's come out with the apology, or he's communicated. He wants to now release this heavy energy. Now he wants the renewal and the rebirth, right? Judgment day is, I've been judged, I've been evaluated, and then it's a renewal and a rebirth of something. Remember, we just had the Fool's card. And so he's telling you, Divine Feminine, I want to release this energy, this dark energy that comes up, and I'm ready to get into this light energy of this renewal and this rebirth, and I want to be victorious. This is the second time, 6 of Wands, 6 of Flames. I want to have victory in this new rebirth of our relationship. I want to release all this pain that we've gone through, and I want to be victorious now, okay? His last card's a little bit of a shadow card, but it made a lot of sense when it came out. Destruction. And I was like, what did he destroy? Well, the first card that came out, the Empress. The Empress is a repeating card, comes up in the connective energy. And then it was clarified by the 7 of Earth. So this was the message I got right away. One message. He knows he destroyed this relationship, and he potentially destroyed his Empress, his Divine Feminine, because he did not invest in the relationship, okay? This is like the Tower card. He knows that he needs to rebuild, and he's ready to invest. Remember, we have the 8 of Pentacles in his heart space, which is the card right after the 7 of Pentacles. He's now ready to commit. He's ready to dedicate himself to this relationship, and he's going to invest now. He knows he's the one who destroyed the relationship, and with his feminine, potentially also destroyed her, maybe broke her heart, but now he is ready to invest in this connection, okay? Because it shows up in his heart space. 8 of Pentacles. He wants to invest now. He's ready to invest, but he's not just going to invest any which way. He wants to invest in a way where he's going to be successful. Because remember, the 3D, 6 of Wands, he wants this type of relationship that they had before to change. And he wants to be successful this time in this relationship with her because she is his star. He has hope. She is his 10 of Cups. Now, the message from the feminine to the masculine. First card that flew out, Twin Flame card. Okay, then is clarified by the Knight of Thoughts, which is the Knight of Swords, and then Major Arcana, the Crusade. This is the Chariot. So remember, she's in this energy of transformation, right? Death is her underlying energy. It's just not happening fast enough. Where are you? Where are you? What are you doing? What are you doing? And he's not coming forward. So all of a sudden in her brain, that means, oh my God, he's going to abandon me. Oh my God, we're in conflict again. Oh my gosh, I'm dissatisfied. She's in her head. Okay? In her 3D space. Again, she's like in the Chariot. Speak now and move forward quickly. Okay, she's in the 3D. She's in the same. Remember, she got 8 of Wands here, and she's burdened with the 10 of Wands. So she knows he's her twin flame. She's been knowing this, okay? But she's ready for him to speak his truth. Continue to speak his truth. And she's ready to get on this journey already with this Chariot card. But I gotta tell you, feminine's gotta slow it down, right? I mean, I know she's been waiting for a long time, but everybody is on their own timeline. Everything is in divine timing, not her timing, not his timing. Everything will happen within the right timing. So don't rush it. You just started back together again. So I know you want to get on this crusade. Yes, he's on 7. He's on 0. So he wants a new beginning. This card's 0. She's already jumped to 7, okay? Chariot card. She's already jumped to the card number 7. So that could be a special message, 0 to 7. But here's the thing. She's 7 steps ahead of him. So they need to kind of balance that out a little bit too. He needs to give her a little bit more to communicate in the right way so she doesn't get in this energy, and she needs to slow it down knowing that it's going to take some time. I'm happy to tell you in the end she gets it, but she doesn't like it. So her next message, free will. And it was clarified by union. And I was like, what is that? So free will and union. So I said, okay, can I have one card to clarify free will and union? 2 flew out for her. The King of Thoughts and the Queen of Thoughts. Analytical and wisdom match. Court card, another match. Remember, we have the High Priestess and the Hierophant. We have the Emperor and the Empress. And now we have, well, then we have the Twin Flame card. And then now we have the King of Swords and the Queen of Swords, clarifying union. So basically what I got from this whole thing was that, people have the free will to either get in union or not get in union. And she's just in this energy of like, I'm not going to let him reject me again. So maybe I'm going to exercise my free will and, pause too, because he's not coming forward with his truth. And I want the truth. I'm the Queen of Swords. And so I really feel like this is, yes, that there's absolutely the potential for union, but this is just not happening fast enough for her. She knows he's his perfect match, but she's kind of, remember, I said Queen of Wands energy. She's like, I'm going to take all of my toys and go. Okay, if this is how you're gonna treat me, I don't want to feel like this in my headspace anymore. So I'm gonna take all my stuff and I'm going. So this is the free will that she may want to exercise because she's not being patient at this time to let things evolve and get into a better place, because she's waiting for her match to finish analyzing what he needs to do. And so it's holding up union. So she might exercise her free will to say, you know what, I'm not really going to wait around anymore. I've waited a long time. And so, yes, you're my perfect match, but I'm really not sure. But I don't think she's going to walk away. But this Queen of Wands energy is really, really coming under through. This fiery personality is really bleeding through. And she's like, I'm going to take all my toys and go. So the last message, 3D message to him, to the masculine, is vibration and slow and steady. And so I feel like she's saying, yes, you are being very, very slow. That is the vibration that I'm getting. That is why it is spinning me out in my head space and in my heart space and in my 3D space. She's just getting the vibration. She's feeling his energy get slower, and she's done with that. But she's frustrated. But the thing is, I didn't need another clarifier. When I saw vibration with Knight of Earth and steady, I was like, okay, well, this is the impatience again. She's feeling him not detach, but just kind of pull away for himself so that he can figure it out. So she feels like it's getting slow again, right? She thought that it was, hey, we were talking again, and then all of a sudden we're not so much. So she's like, oh my gosh, it's slowing down. So does that mean I'm being abandoned? Does that mean I'm being rejected? Does that mean that I'm going into conflict? She's all up in her head. All right, I hope that made sense. And I'm not trying to come down on the feminine. I'm all about the feminines. And I get why the feminine is in this space. But again, if you choose yourself and stay in your power, you can get yourself out of this type of headspace, okay? And you don't have to make these rash decisions about, I'm going to exercise my free will in this Queen of Wands energy and say bye and leave. You don't have to do that. If you're focused on yourself, he'll come around, right? But you need to focus on yourself, your own growth, and what is right in front of you. And if your paths come back together and match again, then great. But if it doesn't, you've already chosen yourself, and you don't need to exercise free will about this union. You've already chosen union of your own self, to unite with your own self. Okay, bottom of the deck for the connective and future energies, 8 of Wands. Communication. Communication's necessary in his space. He may feel like he's communicated enough. In hers, the 8 of Wands is a repeat. She doesn't feel like she has enough communication. So I really feel like that's bled into this whole situation here. So current connective energy, this is where the couple is, the collective is today. They're kind of planning, and this is more, I feel like his energy is kind of planning what to do. How do I move this forward? The Knight of Wands, right? This is about like rushing in, and I feel like he wants to rush in, but he's really holding himself back. The Knight of Wands is this knight that comes rushing in, this smooth Casanova that, can sweep the Empress or the feminine right off her feet, right? Here's the Empress. Remember, the match to his headspace. And so I really get that, people at this time are kind of planning what their next move is going to be. She might be planning her next move to leave the connection. He's planning his next move about how do I not repeat the mistake. There is this great desire to come together quickly. And that's like she's wanting him to come quickly. And he's probably trying to stop himself from like rushing back into the way he did before, or that masculine had done before, because Seven of Wands, he wants to fight for this relationship. She wants to fight for this relationship, okay? But there also may be some defensive energy here that might be coming from the feminine side, because remember, she's in the Ten of Wands. She's a little burdened, so this is kind of guarding your heart. You know, he also may be guarding his heart. He doesn't want to break his own heart again. He doesn't want to break her heart again. So there's this air of, you know, they're planning, they're trying to figure out which path to take. There is this desire to come in quickly. But with the Seven of Wands, people are a little guarded, but yet they might also want to defend their relationship. The next card after that, Six of Wands. Both want to be successful in this new relationship, okay? He has it 1, 2, 3 times. So I really feel like this is him. He's like, I'm not going to mess it up this time. I'm not going to mess it up. Mess it up with who? My feminine, the Empress. I'm not gonna mess it up. But what does this make this? What happens in this when you don't take charge? Five of Cups, right? So a couple of things on this card with this whole combination is people are planning. People are trying to make decisions about what to do. There's this desire to come forward quickly. There is a little bit of guardedness between the two, but there's also a great energy that I'm getting from that Seven of Wands card is they want to fight for their relationship, because it's followed by the Six of Wands, which is about victory. And then you have the Empress card and the Five of Cups. And so what I get from this whole thing is that, yes, they want to be successful. Yes, they want to come together. Yes, they want to defend their relationship. Yes, they're planning their next moves, okay, to each other. But there is this underlying regret. There is this underlying sadness. And remember, we have Five of Swords in the underlying energy. We have the Eight of Cups in his, and we have grief as the bottom of the deck for the oracles. And so what I really get is, you know, there's this great regret over things that have happened in the past. There is regret over behaviors and things people have done to each other. And so this is a little bit of shadow over all of these beautiful cards. Do you see how that one's darker than all of these really light cards? And so there's this air of sadness in the connection at this time about from him, like, what did I do? I hurt her, you know, how I don't want to make the same mistakes again. He's feeling regret. He's feeling sadness. And her Five of Cups is like, I don't want to be hurt again. So, you know, he's abandoned me. He's rejected me. So there's this sadness over the past. Okay. And I really wish they would communicate better. I really do. I wish they'd communicate better, so that we can get out of this Five of Cups energy. I mean, there's all this beauty. They both want each other. They both want to make plans towards each other. They want to defend this relationship. They want to be victorious. They want to birth something, create something new. Okay, but there's this sadness from the past. Future energies. The first card that flew out was the Ten of Swords. So I was like, oh my God, is this now relationship over? Is she going to exercise her free will? But I'm happy to say that the card that followed right after was the Wheel. And so for me, that meant that this ending, this loss, this heartbreak, this devastation, that will turn, that will change. Change into what? Change into clarity. Ace of Swords, repeating card on the feminine's 3D side, okay? So she's going to get her clarity. He will be clear with her in the future energies, this sadness, this loss, this destruction, this energy that keeps them in the Five of Cups, Five of Pentacles, Five of Swords energy. And this grief is going to end in the future. This cycle is going to end with the Ten of Swords. And I say that very confidently because it's followed by the Wheel. And so this cycle is going to end. We're going to go into better times. And the card that flew out right after the Wheel was the Ace of Swords. People will be clear. They will speak their truth. And then what happens? The World card flew out right after. And then with the World card, this is about completion. They're going to complete this cycle of pain. So let your masculine do what he needs to do right now to get his head straight so that the cycle can complete. We can't rush things, okay? Then the following card after the World is this Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is the match to the King. So I really see this as now after this cycle completes, they're going to be able to build something, okay? They're going to be able to build something as a perfect match. And it's going to come with this Page of Wands, which is new energy, which is new beginnings, new excitement. Okay, they're going to let go of this old energy and they're going to complete the cycle of pain. Things are going to get better. There's going to be clarity and there's going to be this fresh, new, beautiful beginning with this page. Okay, that's your reading for today for Monday. October 1st. Happy October, everybody. If you are interested in your own personal reading, please contact me through my website and book a session at queenoflight1111.com. I hope you enjoyed this reading. Let me know if it resonated. And I look forward to talking to you guys again on Wednesday when I'm back for my Wednesday reading. Have a great day. Bye-bye.